Well, Patty, thank you so much for joining me on this interview. I've been looking forward to this and hearing your story on how MAP has changed your life personally as well as professionally in your real estate business. So yeah, just thank you for joining me today.
Thanks for having me. I'm happy to share the story, and hopefully it'll help other people too.
Absolutely. I'm sure it will. Well, I have some questions laid out, so I guess we can jump right in and just looking forward to hearing, how MAP has changed your life. When was it that you first started MAP?
So I started MAP in the middle of January of this year, 2021.
Amazing. So, and we're in November now already, which is crazy, but so within a year. That's awesome. And so I'd love to just kind of hear a little bit of a kind of a before and after. So what was going on in your real estate business before you started MAP?
Sure, great question. So prior to starting with MAP, of course, we were dealing with a pandemic, but I did take that time also to kind of focus inward and do things for myself. And I thought, well, there's going to be a time where we come out of this, and I was trying to plan for the future, of course. But at the time, I was just getting enough deals done, literally, to crawl to the next deal. And so it was that constant feeling of not knowing when's the next deal coming, when's it going to close. I would get deals in the bag, they'd be in escrow and fall apart in escrow. It just seemed like there was barely enough to keep the business going. And so that's what was happening, before I got into MAP.
Right. Gotcha. And how long would you say you kind of were experiencing that in your business, kind of being at that stage?
That went on probably for a good year. I would say total, beginning before starting MAP. One of the things that I've realized, and I actually heard this from a real estate mentor, is that he would say the biggest piece of real estate that you flip is actually in your head. And that is 100% true. And him saying that was what sent me on this journey to find out, okay, so what's that thing in my head I have to flip, and I had tried other modalities, by the way. I did, Tony Robbins, and I did Ho'oponopono, and I kept looking for something that resonated with me where I felt a change. And the very first thing that I did where I felt a change in one session was MAP. And I said, this is it. This is, now I'm resonating. This is where I'm supposed to be. This is how I'm going to find the answer.
Amazing. And that shift that you felt in just that one first session, your first experience with MAP, was that in a group setting, a group session, or a one-on-one session?
Yeah, it was actually in a group session. And I have to tell you that, you go, okay, all of these people are in here listening at the same time I am. But the beauty is you could be very private. You didn't have to share any personal information. So there was definitely a privacy involved, but at the same time I was thinking, well, what could really happen? And what happened was, at the end of just one session, I felt such peace and relief of things that were worrying me. They just seemed to go away. And it was seamless. It was seamless is the only way I could describe it. I mean, I now understand a lot more how it works because I live it every day. But at the time, I remember feeling such a sense of just relief. And, when you're under stress and operating under fear, you just want that voice in your head that's saying bad things to stop. Or just even that you can't do this, or deals fall apart, or real estate's hard. All of these things go through your head when deals aren't happening. And that all went away, and it never came back. It's not coming back either.
That's amazing. That's what happens when you truly rewire your brain, isn't it? It's this shift. You feel kind of like this new normal. That's how I like to explain it a lot of times. It's just like I just kind of have a new default state.
That's exactly what it is. And you truly do rewire your brain. And I remember hearing that they said it's permanent. And that's absolutely true. And when you neutralize everything and anything that could be popping up and getting in your way, you're just free to go forward. And yeah, it's true. It's amazing. I love it.
That's awesome. I'm so happy to hear that. Um, if you're comfortable, are there any like personal struggles that you were kind of facing in your life that you were able to overcome through MAP, which then led to a positive impact on your real estate business?
Well, I would say, that's a great question. Personally, I think my biggest struggle was my real estate business, um, for sure, because my personal life's fabulous. And I think that definitely helped me when I got into MAP, although I didn't share it with anybody because I thought this is a private thing. I didn't quite know how to explain it. But I did have a great support system. And I would definitely say, and it was frustrating though, because I have always been a workaholic, an achiever. Like when I set my mind to something, I've never been a quitter. And I realized though that I was on a hamster wheel for sure. And that non-quitter in me kept trying harder and harder. And the harder I tried, the less things happen. And I now know that until you clear those blocks and rewire your brain, you're just repeating patterns. And I know there's many people in real estate that will hear what I'm saying, that they'll just say, why are all my deals falling apart? Why don't I have any deal flow? Where are the leads? That was my big thing. Where are the leads? And I kept coming up with excuses. It's a seller's market, but yet I knew other people doing deals. And so you start going, why are they closing deals and not me? And it was just this big rat race. And, but I have to say that consumed a lot of my brain, that I now know that that's not how you solve it. But yeah, for sure, that was my, that was the biggest obstacle I wanted to overcome. Um, and I'm happy to share though, one of the biggest relief that I got out of MAP was realizing that anybody, regardless of their childhood, I had a violent childhood growing up. I was physically abused. And by the way, it is not hard for me to talk about this anymore because of the rewiring. What happens is that emotional pain is gone. And it's just kind of like an observation. And I see the whole thing in a different way and actually appreciate that because it got me to be who I am right now. And I would say, for anybody that has had any kind of horrible, trauma, it's not who you are now. And if you go through MAP, you'll see that and you'll feel it. And it's the feeling part that is the most important to me because I could talk to anybody that's gone through a similar struggle and, I really don't get emotional because I have just a completely different outlook on it. And that the sadness and the pain is gone. And it's that to me is priceless.
Absolutely. That's really beautiful. I'm so glad that you shared that, and it's so important because, any business is a reflection of the person that's running it.
Yep.
And so if we have a lot of unresolved trauma, that's how we're going to show up in our business and our personal life and our relationships, working with clients, et cetera. And so the more that you can clear and the more trauma from your past that you can neutralize, it's just going to, allow you to break free from those blocks and really tap into your full potential, and show up the way that you want to show up and take your business to the level that that you deserve and that you're capable of.
Yeah, and it's true. And another reason I mentioned it is I never had to, in any of the coaching sessions, I never had to get into the details about it. But you realize that some of your beliefs that are false beliefs pop up. And it was because of that. And even things about money beliefs, things that you hear from your parents, and you don't realize that even if when they said it, you say, "Oh, I'm not going to think that way." Guess what? You still do until you get rid of the block. And so, yeah, it in that sense, it was like beyond helpful, especially with money beliefs, because I
Absolutely.
had more than I was aware of, and the awareness is one of the biggest gifts you get.
Right. That's one of the things I love most about MAP is that you don't have to go into all the painful details. You don't have to share all of that with the MAP coach or therapist. But like you said, you know, the layers of the onion start unraveling, and you start having these insights and awareness, and then that can lead the session into that direction and start to, you know, go down that path. And it's really beautiful, the way that the protocol works
It
in
does.
that way.
That's so true, Matt. I felt like along the way, there was always the next stepping stone was just there. And I wasn't worried that it wasn't going to be there at any point. And it really was like, you know, a peeling of the onion. But after a while, it was just, you know, it's really, it's almost effortless. And for me now, it actually is effortless because it's the way I live my life. And I still participate in MAP sessions and the group sessions and Dreams to Reality. And so, you know, but the coaching, I love it. I love it. It's great because there's always new layers of the onion that can show up, and this way you stay ahead of it.
Right. Absolutely. So you've done the coaching, as well as the Clearing the 11 Money Saboteurs program.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
What would you say you love most about the Clearing the 11 Money Saboteurs course?
Oh, I would say it was the enlightenment about all of the false money statements that we all hear. Money doesn't grow on trees, and you know, um, who do you think you are? An Onassis. It's so funny because I would hear these things from other members, and I thought, gosh, my parents used to say that too, and I thought I didn't have any money blocks. I love money. And then I realized that, oh, I love money, but I was actually fighting against myself because of all those things. So I would say that the most empowering thing about doing 11 Money Saboteurs was just completely debunking all of those, like not just a little, but completely.
Yeah, amazing. And so I'd love to get an idea of, you know, what was the state of your business at before starting MAP, and where are you now? You know, about what, 11 months later?
Yeah, great question. Wow, a lot of action there. So when I first started MAP, we were still basically in lockdown. And like I said, I was barely I would just get enough deals to make it to the next month. And then, but it was that horrible, felt like I was holding my breath all the time. When's the next one coming? When's the next one coming? And then as I got into MAP, I was definitely worrying less. And that was the biggest gift for me, was that I kind of decided I've got to shift my focus to what's going on in my brain now and give that all the attention. And it was truly like the best investment you can ever make in yourself is in your own mental well-being. And that, you know, in looking back, it was like, it's the best thing I ever could have done for myself in my entire life. MAP has changed my life for the better permanently. And as I went through the system, I would say roughly 6 months in, I started seeing little differences. I needed a new person to come on board, and I now know I attracted like a great acquisitions person. And then I was like, okay, now I've got a good team in place, and the team just kind of came together. All the right people were like applying, and it was easy. And then I thought, well, now I need leads. And so I was like, well, you know what? I would love an avalanche of leads. What real estate person wouldn't? And in September, when my business account balance at this point was $24, I actually took a picture of it. All of a sudden, this avalanche of leads that I had written down that I wanted were coming to me in the form of, I had a partnership fall into my lap, perfect partnership. I was referred by my original real estate mentor, who I had not been in contact with for over a year. So it wasn't like I was keeping in touch saying, hey, can you help me? And these two guys needed help with their business. And he said, I got the perfect person for you. And we got together, and immediately within 2 weeks, not just through that partnership, but my own business, I was hauling in over 6 figures within a 2-week period. There was a deal in LA that came in for about $60,000, and then we had a 30 here and a 40 there, and now the rest is history. It just keeps going, and the people that we're attracting, are like top shelf, and it's like a dream team, and it's truly amazing. And I now know that it was due to all the work I did at MAP.
That is incredible. That was incredible. I had a hard time not saying wow
Yeah.
when you were talking. Distracted.
No, I still say wow, Matt. I still say wow. I just got back from a beautiful vacation because I hadn't been gone out of town for 2 years,
Yeah.
and flew to Cabo on a private jet. We hired a chef and just did it all up first class, and it was so nice to do that, and not one concern about money. And I now know, I don't make money is not my middleman. Money's just an exchange for things that we appreciate and need. And so yeah, it's been pretty cool.
I love that. I love that. Yeah, it's just a tool, right? We can use money however we, see fit. So that's amazing. So you went from $24 in your bank account.
Yeah.
And then how long later you're bringing in 6 figures with deals?
It was within 10 days.
Yeah.
Literally, it all just fell in, and then it kept coming. Oh, and I also have an Airbnb rental, and that thing was going off like, you have I had new bookings every day, and now my Airbnb is booked all the way through January of next year. Just so it wasn't just in one area. I think that's important to point out. It was like all areas, anywhere I had an income stream, it just kind of, everything just turned on and stayed on.
Yeah. And what really stuck out to me too is that you said it was just kind of easy and effortless. You weren't stressed, you weren't hustling, and you weren't grinding and using grit. It seemed to flow for you. Is that right?
That's exactly what happened, Matt. I wasn't concerned at all, which I know most people are going to hear that say, but when I learned through MAP how to focus and what to focus on, and you stay with that and you believe in that, and it fell into place. I'm not working harder than I ever did. I'm working way less. And when I do work, it's really easy. It's all kind of guided. Like, I just know what to do next. I don't write lists. I used to have this crazy whiteboard, call these people, get these leads. And I threw the whiteboard away. I don't need it, because you just know every day what needs to be done. And I've automated as much of the business as possible. That was one of my goals, was to have automated businesses. And so that's, I just kind of, now it's just like, follow what you feel you should be doing. And I'm actually looking for new things now to add, because now I know how to create things and make them come to fruition. So it's pretty cool.
That's amazing. I love hearing that. So what would you say to another real estate professional who's, maybe hearing this, they really resonate with, the struggles you were dealing with before? They might be in a similar place and they're considering trying MAP. What would you say to them?
I would say every day that you delay starting is, you're delaying your success. Um, it absolutely works. And your problem is not a real estate problem. And it's not even a problem. It is a matter of rewiring your brain, but the parts are already there, like for perfection. So, yeah, like it's, I wouldn't hesitate to do it again, and have, my whole team trained. That's my next goal, is to train all of our new team members and partners, to train them in that, because I want them to have the same ease and confidence and happiness that I've gotten from it. I want that for everybody.
That's so amazing. That's so beautiful. Yeah, I mean, how powerful can that be when the whole team is on the same page and the whole team is rewiring their brains and up leveling themselves together?
That's a great point, Matt. Yeah. And one of the side benefits of doing MAP is, as you do raise yourself and you grow, um, it just brings up everybody around you naturally, even if they're not doing it. But if you have a deliberate effort where everybody's doing it, it's just, I think it's an unlimited opportunity to grow your business.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Patty, for joining me today and taking the time to share your story. Is there any last words? Anything else that you'd like to share?
Um, Gosh, yeah, I would just say, um, ask yourself questions. What led me to find MAP was my real estate coach saying to me, "What do you want?" And when I answered him the first time, I forget, I think I said I'd like to take a vacation. And he said, "That's not big enough." And if you can't answer the question, "What do you want?" with a really big, fabulous answer, you need MAP. And if you can answer it with a really big, fabulous answer, you need MAP too, because it can get you to where you want to be no matter where you're starting. But yeah, the biggest thing is what do you want? And it's got to be for you, and not involving other people, because everybody around you benefits when you do it. So that would be probably my closing point to drive home here.
I love that. So you can't go wrong with MAP either way.
No, and it's great. You grow, it grows with you. It grows with you, and the people in the community are amazing, and you meet people, and the coaching program is awesome.
Awesome. Yeah, it's so great to come together with like-minded people and all grow and lift up together. And and I'll just highlight again with the group program, you don't have to share your personal, whatever you're working on. That's kind of the magic of it, is but it just works. Even though the facilitator hosting the session doesn't know exactly what each individual person in the group is working on.
Exactly, exactly. And if you do, and then the private sessions, if you have the opportunity to do private sessions, you just, I mean, those are specialized to the individual, and I can't say enough about that.
Yeah, absolutely. With the private sessions, you can just go, that much deeper and really focus on specifically, what that individual wants to either overcome or create and bring into their life.
Exactly. Yep.
Well, thanks again so much, Patty. You're so amazing. I love hearing your story and love connecting with you. So I look forward to talking with you again soon. And again, thank you so much.
Thank you, Matt.